Hello and welcome to another Cuppa with Kaci. I don't know, I always do that. It's a thing now. I have made it my thing. Anyway, today's video is a special one. It is one of my oldest friend's birthday tomorrow for me. For you, when you see this, it will have been a few days ago. It's the July the 4th. Because, you know, Ruben has a special birthday for you American folk. Anyway, it's their birthday. I'm going to do a picture for them as a gift and record it as a special extra birthday present-like thing, because I have no money and can't afford to buy them a present. Plus, they live in the UK and I live in Australia, and postage is a very expensive thing at the moment and takes forever with this whole COVID thing going on. So without further ado, we'll just get right into it. Now, you may notice that over here we've got my paintbrushes and my water, which means we're doing a painting video today, but it's a little bit of a special one again because I got a new package in the mail and it's very shiny. Now, this is something I ordered quite a few months ago. I think I ordered it back in March. No, I ordered it in February, and I ordered express shipping, but with everything that happened, it only just arrived today. Yeah, and there was a big issue. I thought they'd lost my package. I contacted the store. They sent out a second one, so I'm probably going to get a second one of these because this one looks like it was posted in February, so probably when I initially ordered it, so this must be the first one. But it's okay. They said I can keep both if the second one arrives, but this is a special paint kit that I got from, you can see here, Artemis Paint Studio. They do all handmade watercolor paints, and this is a really cool little set. I'm gonna need scissors. I don't have any scissors in here. All my scissors are in the other room. Use your muscles. Oh, that side was much easier to So this is like a special that they did on their website because they were closing down to do a restock. They did these little mystery palette things. So it's got, I believe I got the 5 paint set. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's paint. That's all this is on there. Oh, look at this tissue paper. It's got sparklies on it. So I got this little mystery set where she... Oh, this is so cute. I'm going to keep this. So I have no idea what colours I got. So this is going to be fun. So the picture that I do for my friend's birthday will be tailored around whatever colours I got in this set. So this should be... Oh, look how pretty this is. It's so cute. I'm going to have to stick some of this in my sketchbook on the page. So, oh look, I got a lip and a sticker. Rationality. I like it. This is really fitting for me because a lot of the time I need to remind myself to think rationally and not like a crazy anxious person. So that can go there where I can see it. This is super pretty. I don't know if this is showing me what colours are in my set or if it's just a cute little painting with cute little colours. But if it is the colours, then we've got some nice peachy. There's a really nice spot. I don't know if you can see, it's got glitter in it, metallic colours, and then some, I'm going to guess one of them is Payne's Grey. If those are the colours I got, I'm going to be really happy. So I came in this cute little tin, and I got a little pipette for activating the paints. And yeah, so this is going to be super exciting. I don't have any of these, so this is fun. This is fun and cute. I love it already. So let's see what we got. Is that a twisty tin or is it just a pulley tin? Oh, it's a pulley tin. Oh, look. Okay, so we got this little tiny swatch card that sticks. It's just double-sided sticky tape to the inside of the lid there. So I'll just take that out because I want to. And then we've got the colours, so it looks like these might be the colours that I got in here. Ooh, there's two glittery ones by the one. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, this is so exciting. Okay, so they're all individually sort of wrapped in these little paper thins. So this, very gently. Ooh. So this one is called Winter Wheat. Oh, this is exciting. Let me get my watercolor paper. Okay, let's just do like a little boop. Ah, it's so cute. A little bit of water in there. Do. Okay, use my little brush. So today's picture all depends on what colours we get in this. Like, I have an idea of kind of what I want to paint, but if I don't get the right colours for it, then, you know, we might just have to, you know, wing it a little bit. Ooh, pretty. Yeah, no, that's definitely not on here. So this is just like a cute little painting with colours. Ah, over there. These have little magnets on the back, by the way, so they stick to the tin, which I just find so adorable. Okay. Oh, my first metallic one. Oh, this is so pretty. Just look at that. Look how shiny that is. It's lovely. Okay, this one is called Reardon Metal. Who knows what that means? I sure don't. What's a Reardon? Oh my goodness, look at that blue. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so shiny. My camera, like, from what I can see, is not picking up. Not doing that justice at all. So sparkly. Get in there. Oh, I forgot this. This is Sardinia Red. Now that sounds cool. Looks kind of brown. Let's see if it paints red or if it's like a red sandy color. Like, you know, like what, red dirt? Like, here's rock and stuff. Yeah, definitely like a red dirt color. That's really nice. It's gonna go really nice with that other, what was it, the winter wheat that we got. Okay, this one is called Smalt, and I don't know what smalt is, but it looks like it might be blue. I'm not 100% sure, but it's probably blue, judging by this. Clearly she has curated these mystery color packets so that the colors go well together as well, which is really nice to see, because she could have just shoved in like whatever leftovers she had and not cared what went in each box. But she obviously, you know, I'm assuming it's a she. I'm fairly sure it's a she. Oh my gosh. It's obviously made sure the colors go well, and this is a metallic purple. I love it so much. It is called Shelby. I love it, Shelby. Oh, my dad will love that too. Dad, this one's called Shelby. Look at it. So pretty. Ugh. Okay, so this is a metallic midnight purple, and my goodness, oops, I just stuck my hand in that. It is pretty. Oh, it's almost black, and it's got such a nice sparkle in it. Oh, so pretty. And it's like the paint underneath is like black and the glitter is purple. So we've done the swatching. Now we've got to sketch something that will work with these colours. Okay, so I'm back. I didn't record any of the sketching process because I wanted to take my time with it. I didn't know how long it was going to take and my camera would have died. So I have sketched it, my finished piece, onto some watercolour paper, taped it down, and we're ready to get started. So to voice over Kaci it is. Okay, so I don't really have a lot to say about the painting process of this. It's a lot like many of my other painting videos that you may have watched already. It was very simple. I just used the limited colour palette to colour the sketch, and yeah, not much to it really. But what I will say is I did like the paints. They had like the metallic ones particularly were so gorgeous and was so much fun to use. I may have gone a little bit overboard with how much of this I wanted to have be sparkly, but you know, when you've got metallic paints you gotta go all in, right? And I believe this is my first experience with a granulating paint. I'm assuming that's what it was because it granulated very nicely, and I've never actually used a granulated paint before, and given that this was a mystery palette I didn't actually choose the paints that were in it, so I'm fairly sure this blue, I think it was the smalt one, was a granulating colour because you can see it granulated very nicely. Which is actually amazing, considering I actually wanted there to be texture in the background. You can see here I'm actually scattering some salt over the top of the blue, which is a technique that I heard that you can use to make a nice texture. So I didn't actually end up needing that salt texture on the blue because the blue was granulating anyway, and it made a nice texture on its own. And I actually got really frustrated because I had salt everywhere, and I was trying to do this piece and there was salt everywhere. But it worked in the end. I do use some more salt a little bit later and it worked really nicely. But yeah, here is me painting the face of the character, and given that I didn't actually have any red, like pinky tones to do the blushes with, I just used the darker brown to do the blushes, and because there was no other pinks in the piece it worked. But it would have just been so nice if I had a pop of pink just on the nose and the little cheeks for the blushies, but yeah, it looked good with the brown, and this is the difficulty we have when we're using a limited colour palette. Now, I'll say this now, the piece itself is a very personal piece for my friend Ruben. They're going through a really tough time right now, and I wanted to do something that would be inspiring, I guess, to help them feel better. So the piece itself is quite sad looking, but the meaning behind it is supposed to be inspirational, I guess. You can see me leaning in every now and then because I'm just blowing on the water to try and make it dry faster. I don't know if it was the paints or my new brushes or what, but they just seemed to dry really slow, and it was very frustrating because I wanted to paint and I just kept having to wait for the paint to dry so it wouldn't blend out and go horrible and be gross, and it was so frustrating. So I leaned into the frame a couple of times just to blow on the paint. But yeah, this is the two different metallic paints there that I tried to blend into like a nice gradient for the top, and I put more salt on that bit for more texture. Back to the piece itself, the image is inspired heavily by the song King by Lauren Aquilina, and if you haven't heard it, I will link it below. It's a beautiful song, and it means a lot to me, and my friend Ruben also really likes it. So I was inspired by the song. Let's just skip forward to the next day. I believe I waited a day so it would all dry so I could keep going. But yes, I was inspired by the song to do a piece similar to this, and it just so happened that the colours I got were perfect, and it would mean a lot to Ruben to do this. So I used them as the subject of the painting, and the crown is being placed on their head with my hands. So it was kind of meant to be, you know, I'm here for you sort of thing, like I will help you find your crown again, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun with it. I do end up breaking out my Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry Night watercolors because I really wanted that crown to be gold, and the brown tones in this pack just weren't cutting it. So I did all the other colors with how and where I wanted them to be before breaking those out, just to add in some extra details, and I kind of went a little bit crazy with it, but you know, they're metallic, and this piece was already so overly metallic that I was like, what's another 2 or 3 metallic colours added in on top? And I'm actually really happy with how it turned out in the end. I tried to do a style that's not usually my comfort zone with the background and all that jazz, whilst keeping what is my style, which is the human figure, I guess you could say. But I wanted the piece to be, you know, a decent piece. It's a birthday present for one, and also it's quite meaningful, and it's supposed to be helpful for my friend whilst they're going through this tough time. And I didn't want it to look like I half-assed it, if you know what I mean. Like, I mean, you probably do. We're all smart people here. We know what words mean. But yeah, so I used the metallic purple to do the hair, because my friend's got very dark black hair. So I thought this is the darkest colour, so I used this colour as the black for the piece. So the darkest tone is this colour, so it looks black against everything else. So it was really nice, and it worked really well, and added a nice amount of contrast. And I realised after recording this and watching it back now that given that everything is so metallic, the way my lighting was shining off of it actually makes it look like everything is super washed out. And I can tell you from my point of view that it was not, or is not, that washed out. Like, the top here looks super pale, but in person it's really dark. Same with the hair. The hair's just kind of shining like a bright purple, but in person it's like almost black with just some purple glitter in it. So that's not exactly the best showcase of the art piece, with my camera angle and the lighting ruining it a little bit. But there is at the end I will pick up the piece and do a bit of rotating so you can see the sparkle and the different lighting. You can see the contrast from there, but don't take the terrible lighting here to show you that, make you think that this piece has no contrast, because it really does. And I'm quite happy with how it looked in the end. And this is just me painting, my hands holding the crown, and oh, here comes the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry Night watercolors. That is such a mouthful. So I used so in the piece I did some little angel wings as well, just to fill in that background space. It may have been unnecessary, but I liked it anyway. So I'm colouring those with I think it's a white gold colour, just to give them a little bit of pop away from the dark background, which again is darker in person, but the lighting makes it look really pale blue. and then I used the white gold to just, I think the first one I did was silver and this was the white. Either way, I did the piercings with this colour. Then I go with the yellow gold to do the crown and a few other details like the writing at the bottom, which you can't see yet, but it is there. I actually write the word king in a nice fancy sort of almost playing card font. Oh, and I also mixed the yellow gold with the dark purple here for the eye colour, because my friend Ruben has really hazel eyes, and I thought doing them with just the plain purple would make them just look black, and they're not. They have pops of colour, and it's just, I wanted to show that a little bit more, so I mixed the gold in with the purple to give it just a hint of something more than just black. Okay, so the crown, I made sure to go around the fingers and stuff, and I was trying to make it look kind of fancy, so I had little swirlies at the top, which you can't really see because the lighting is terrible, and this is a really bad video, and I'm so sorry. I wish I could figure out the lighting better, because I think this is the lighting that really makes my videos look a little bit more amateurish, and I need to fix that. But I got limited ability and limited space, so we'll get there eventually, I'm sure. It would just take us some time. So going in with a bit more gold, I just sort of thickened up the crown a little bit because it was a little bit more transparent than I wanted it to be. I went through on the wings and just added a little bit more details. I went around the circle in the background, which you can't really see because the contrast doesn't show up because of the lighting, but there is a circle in the background. I went through that and added some action lines, and this is just me hand lettering the word king at the bottom, which the lighting makes it actually show up, which is nice because it's catching off that glitter. So the font is just kind of curly and sort of playing card-esque. I don't know, I thought it was playing card-esque, but it's just a pretty curly font that I sort of took from one of my tattoos and did some extra letters and whatnot and played around with the shapes a little bit. And I'm really happy with how the writing came out, which is amazing because I usually hate how my lettering skills work because they're so messy usually. I'm not the best at hand lettering, especially with a paintbrush, but I'm really proud of how it came out in this piece. And I mean, it's not the best piece of art I've ever done, but it's still, I'm really happy with the piece itself, and my friend Ruben really liked it, so that's a bonus. I'm gonna have to post this to them eventually when I can, and hope that it doesn't get destroyed in the journey over to the UK, because we all know that posties are just not the best handlers sometimes. So I went in with some more yellow gold. I just added some sparkles because I felt the background was a little bit bare. You can't really see them on camera, but there are sparkles and little dots and stuff throughout, and I wanted to give it a bit more texture aside from just the granulation of that. So I let it dry, and then I came back in with my Prismacolor Color Erase pencil in purple and just did a whole bunch of scribbling. I basically did the line art with a pencil, which works a lot better on Copic markers, I must say. The paint was just, I don't know if it's this particular paint because I have used Prismacolors over watercolour before and it's fine. I don't know if it was the pencil I used or the paint, but it was just not really sticking, which was a shame. Some places would stick really well, other places it wouldn't. Usually over the more metallic paints it was having trouble sticking. Probably the glitter or something was just, I don't know, too smooth for the, not graphite because this isn't a graphite pencil, but you know, too smooth for it to stick. But it worked out in the end, at least, and I'm really happy with how the final piece looked. So I just went over the whole thing with the Prismacolor pencil, and then I came back through with a white gel pen, did some highlights, added some more sparkles in the background, because honestly you can never have enough sparkles, especially when the piece is covered in so much glitter already, right? You gotta just add as much sparkle as you can, make it pop. Yeah, so I think the Prismacolor pencil, like, even though it didn't stick in some places, it definitely added just that little bit of contrast that the piece needed. That's all I can say, is if your piece, your art, your drawing, whatever it is looking a bit flat and you can't figure out why, I usually find that it just doesn't have enough contrast. And I've been enjoying coming through with a pencil lately and just kind of sketching over the top of another piece of artwork to just, I don't know, it brings it to life a bit more. Does anyone else think that their sketches always look better than finished pieces? I recommend sketching back over the top of your finished piece and just giving it that little bit of life back. It makes it a bit more free and a bit more, I don't know, bubbly. Gives it life. What else can you say, really? It just makes it look more complete, in my opinion. I'm really enjoying that look right now. I'll probably hate it in like a year. I come back, I'll look through, it's like, what was I thinking? But for now, I'm really enjoying it. So you'll see in a second, I'll come through with the gel pen. I just add a little bit of shading on the fingertips and in the circle in the background, just to give it that contrast again, as I was saying, make it stand off from the background a little more. I did a nice dark line around the very border where I taped it down, just so it kind of looked a bit more like a playing card or something when I take it off the table, because, I don't know, I felt like it needed a border. And that was another one of the things, the blue, the smalt paint, instead of drawing on top of it, it sort of just scraped it away and then drew on the paper underneath, which was really odd. I've never had that happen before. It was very chalky, but that could be because it was granulating. It could just be the paint itself, whatever it's made out of. They're all natural, so it could just be that. Anyway, so I definitely recommend Artist Paint's studio. I will link them below so you can go and buy your own handmade paint. And it's amazing, paint's so nice, cute little packaging, 100% A++. And I also link below a video by HulloAlice, who actually inspired me to buy the mystery palette, because they did a video where they bought it and tried it out, and their art was incredible, so you should go follow them too. I'll link them all below. And this is a finished piece. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint this with the mystery palette, and happy birthday, Ruben. I hope you like your present. Have a good one, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!